now. There we go. We're live.
Great.
So I'm excited to interview Rene Banuelos of 22 Social. And we're going to talk about this amazing platform that helps you be able to advertise all in one place. And there's so much more to it than just advertising. This is like a one-stop shop, a place for you to do just about everything you need to do in business. And Rene is going to share all of that with us. So first I want to start off, I'm going to put Rene on the spot every once in a while. So Rene, bear with me here.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
So I want to talk about maybe I want to talk about the 3 points that we'll be able to cover today that are going to be very valuable for them. So what would you say are the top 3 things that we should make sure we dive into today?
In terms of what they expect to learn today? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I think okay. Got me off guard there for a second, but that's okay. I think the biggest thing is in any business that you have is the ability to collect leads. I think people don't focus on that enough. It seems, depending on where you are in your business trajectory, you might have heard that a lot, or maybe you haven't enough. So that's one thing that's important, is being able to collect leads. Number 2, I would say, is nurturing those leads. And also, I would say, as far as nurturing those leads, I guess it's an extension number 2. Also, building some sort of community. I'm big on that.
Okay.
Actually have a group where I just help people build their own tribes. So also being able to monetize. But I think what I'm probably going to give you more than 3, but
okay.
So sorry about that. So I think more importantly, I think I had a thought there for a second that escaped me, is being able to launch some ideas quickly and being able to get off the ground quickly. I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs, there's so much time that we spend in our own business, whatever the business is that we're in, whether we're a coach, whether we have a local business, whatever it is, that takes up so much of us that it's hard for us to launch some sort of marketing campaign because we're so eaten up by what product or service we're selling, which as it should be, right? That's what your focus should be. So being able to launch some marketing strategy quickly and start getting results, or not, and tweaking it quickly, is very, very important. I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Those are awesome. So we're going to cover collecting leads, then nurturing them, building a community, and monetizing. And then about launching quickly, which you're so right, because we entrepreneurs, we get so wrapped up in what we're doing, and we spend so much time thinking, and we don't launch. Like,
right, exactly.
Hello, exactly. That's like the key to success is launching, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and part of that is, well, we can get into detail on that, but part of that is there's so much usually going on online. There's so many conflicting messages that we hear. We don't even know who to pay attention to sometimes. So,
I totally agree. It's like walking into the grocery store down an aisle and you just can't decide which, ice cream to choose. So what I want to do first is, we do have some viewers on here, and I'd like you guys to, in the chat, go ahead and let us know what kind of business you have. And that can help Rene, so that when he's talking about the product that he has, 22 Social, that he can know, kind of who the audience is. I know who you guys are, but he doesn't. It's like, I know every single person here, so I know what they do, but we want Rene to be able to know as well. So let's, so we're going to cover those things in a little bit, but let's go into your story, Rene. Like, why, necessity is the mother of invention, right? So there was something that made you say, I got to do this because it's not happening in the marketplace. So what was it that kind of like through your head, you were like, I got to figure something else out?
Right. Interesting enough, I actually, back in 2009, 2010, I was actually offering what was common back then, which is, I'm going to get you on the first page of Google. I was actually working with businesses locally, offering pay-per-click, Google AdWords, and telling them, hey, I can get you on the first page of Google. And I remember hearing this often when I first started. Well, you're the 20th person that's told me that today. How are you different? And it was kind of frustrating. Like, what do I do? I mean, I was partnering with a company that was actually offering the managing ads and all that stuff. I was just on the sales side. And I thought, there's got to be something else I got to do to differentiate myself. And out of that necessity, eventually it rolled up into what we have now. But that what I noticed is that they were more interested in hearing about Facebook than they were about getting on the first page of Google. And back then, nobody was telling them what to do on Facebook. They knew, they heard about it. They knew their kids had a Facebook account, their wife or their husband had a Facebook account. They had one. They might have not used it, but they knew, hey, there's a lot of people on there. How do I monetize that? How do I get leads out of that and generate something for my business? So I started helping them as part of even a bonus for signing into my programs. I would help them set up their Facebook page, get some results. Then I thought, let me just really, really learn this thing. What else can I do with it? And I have an engineering background. I've been programming since I was 14 years old. So programming was always something I enjoyed. So I noticed, well, there's a API or a programmer's interface. I can actually extend this thing and program for it. Oh, okay. So that's when my gears start turning. And I said, wow, there's a really good opportunity here. If we can create a system where the business owner can quickly create a page that's kind of integrated inside their own fan page, so they don't have to go out and figure out a website, I think we got something. So I put together a few friends. Andrew, who's some people was one of the co-founders here, was one of that group in that group, and we started creating pages for people right inside Facebook, custom pages right inside Facebook. But mainly, there was a need. The reason I think we started picking up traction is because there was a need to have something simple, right?
Yes.
Like I said earlier, that business owner had no time to really mess with something that's going to take too much of their time. It needed to be simple. So that's why leveraging what was not only the fact that Facebook's a big network, and it was already the one back then, it's a bigger one now, but also the ability to get something out there quickly. I think that's the biggest thing that we solved. It was my necessity to offer something unique so that I can get through the door. That's how it all started. But eventually, well, I got to give them something that makes sense for them. And their necessity was being able to leverage Facebook and doing it in a way that was quick.
That's awesome. And thank you so much for thinking that for us, because it's so true. Like, you know, because that's one of the issues, I think, is that we want it now, but there's so many choices out there. How do we know what is the, you know, best modality to get what we have out there? And to have it all in one place just makes it so much more simple. And so what I'd like to do is have you kind of step us through some of the steps that 22 Social offers to show us like how to collect those leads, right? How to nurture them and, you know, build a community, monetize, and then how to launch quickly. So you want to go ahead and get right on into that?
Sure. If you want me to show, you know what? I'm gonna actually breeze through some slides. I'm actually skip through some stuff for you quickly. You just gotta show me how to share. There, I see it. Screen. Believe it or not, I'm done GoToWebinar. I've done Hangouts. I've done a bunch of other things, but just Zoom, I'm still kind of getting used to. So I apologize if I'm a little. Oh,
no worries. No worries at all. Well, no, Mary Ann has listed that she has two businesses. She's an income tax preparer, nice. And then she also sells doTERRA essential oils, which is an MLM model.
And she has an interesting, you know what, I'm going to answer her question.
Yeah, good question.
Where does the 22s come from? It actually, that's something, I got to give credit to Andrew, who's in charge of branding for the company from the beginning, on top of being one of the co-founders. And we went through so many names for the company, and we thought, he actually thought, well, 22, the number 22, that's a 2. I could probably, thinking already in the branding side of it or how to do images, I could probably come up with a bunch of photos of celebrities doing this. That's 2 and 2. So that makes sense. And it's for social media, right? Facebook's a social network. Sure, let's try that. The domain was available. And then none of us were into numerology, but we looked up the number 22, and it happens to be one of 3 really powerful numbers. And 22, it's considered the master builder. And since our software builds pages, I was like, wow, okay, this thing's amazing. And it's something that brings dreams into reality. So we thought, wow, that was just coincidence. I mean, we could have done 37 social and looked it up, and 37 means nothing. But it just kind of, it made sense. I'm like, wow, I think this is it. So we went with it, bought the domain, and went from there, and eventually got 22s.com, which was our short link for all our pages. So that's where that came from. I
love how it came from doing the peace sign.
Yes, he's like, I could probably find a lot of celebrities doing this and probably which is not something that we've actually done, is pick up random photos out there of celebrities to market.
Yeah.
But that's what went through his mind. But eventually it had a really good meaning. So that's why we decided to go for it.
Yeah. So thank you, Marianne, for asking that question. That was a great one.
Yeah. You know, sometimes when you're coming up with a brand, you just got to go through so many different examples and until something just feels right. So when you have that moment, and it might take a while, and it did for us. But anyway, with that, I'm going to quickly go through some slides. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
With you real quick.
And you know, Julia is starting a health food subscription business. Oh, interesting. So building community is going to be perfect for that. And I know for Ange too, she has community. And so Russell also has community. And then I believe Chris does as well. And so this is going to be perfect for you guys.
Perfect.
Check it out.
So can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. You see the I'm going to crush it?
Yes.
Perfect. So let's say this is you. This is probably a lot of people. They're thinking maybe they're brand new in business or maybe they've been in business for a while, but they hear that they want to get some results online and they're thinking, I'm going to crush it. They have a big vision, right? And a big idea. And that's how kind of a lot of us get started. And, but as entrepreneurs, these are the questions we're usually asking for. We're looking for ways to increase cash flow, create passive income, right? Money that comes in without us having to be there. We're looking to keep things simple, and we're looking to keep expenses low, right? That's also important, especially when you're new to business. You can't have overhead kill you. So more than likely, you probably said yes to all those questions. So if that's it, then I think you're going to like what I have to
So what do you guys? You guys say yes to all those questions? I definitely do. Anybody here say yes to all those questions?
Right, and if you didn't, I mean, I wonder why you wouldn't want to keep increase your cash flow or keep things simple or exactly. Keep expenses low. That's how we all get started. We're looking for something that makes it happen. So, but unfortunately, here's what usually happens. Okay, so this is a reality. Is you say, well, I'm going to go ahead and create a website. I mean, we've heard this for a while. It's funny enough, we think this is such an old model, but some people don't even have their website yet. But assuming they were going to create a website, and if you already have one, great, you figure it out. But if someone's new trying to get results online and they haven't started, a lot of times they're told, well, create a website, connect it to your Facebook page, connect it to other social media sites, get some plugins, fill out some themes, all that stuff, and then get some sort of lead capture system. You need to capture leads somehow. And then somebody else says, well, you have to actually do some webinars. So get some webinar software, figure that out. And then especially if you're into building community, you might actually want to put together some courses or some membership sites. So you got to get some software to figure that out. And then you got to charge people. Unless you're a local business and you already have a way to charge, that's different. But a lot of people, entrepreneurs who are trying to either on the coaching side or maybe in different industries like that, you got to figure out some way to charge. So maybe that's another system that you have to figure out. And pretty soon it just becomes a mess if you even get this far. And you start to, you start to really feel that it's really complicated. It's expensive. It's time consuming. You know, what's sad is that a lot of people quit because of this. And that's really what gets me and what gets us, what we want to avoid is that if you can't get leads and generate clients for your business, you won't have a business very long. So if that's how you're looking to generate leads online and you just give up because it's so complex, that's it. You're out of business. That dream is dead. Not only is your dream dead, but also everyone else who you would have helped through your business, it's done. Right? They're not gonna get your help. You're not gonna be able to solve problems for them. So that's what really can go wrong.
Yeah, and Angie even says it's not just a mess, but it's confusing. It is. It's so confusing because there's too many to choose from. First of all.
Exactly. And so most people are almost overwhelmed. It's almost like we're out there with our eyes closed, right?
Yeah, just like that. Yeah, there we go.
So we need some help, right? So the truth is, growing your business online could be really, really complicated, like we said. Mm-hmm. And that's why you need a simple solution. And that's actually one of I would say that's our major motivation, is that how do we get things to be more and more simple, right? And it's always a balance. We're always adding new features, but how do we do that in a way that keeps things simple so that most people can quickly get something done, and launch and start getting results.
Mm-hmm.
And the good news, after all that mess I told you, the good news is that the web has evolved and there are faster ways to get results. And that's what we're going to help you with.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm going to skip through this. I told you a little bit of our story already, so I'm going to go through that. So ideally what we want is for you to get results without hassling with all the website stuff and to start profiting online.
And Rene, I've actually heard validation recently that websites are kind of going to the wayside. There's still like a place to house things, but they're kind of going to the wayside. A lot of people are using more the like funnel approach to bring people in, to keep nurturing them.
It's focused. A lot of times you go to a website and there's so many things in there that you don't even know where to start.
Yeah. Like,
do I go to the home part, or there's another button over here? And funnels tend to be more focused. Here's my message. Here's what I can offer you.
Yeah.
Are you interested? Or here's something I can offer you for free. Would you opt in? So yeah. So it's almost like the virtual business card, right? Mm-hmm. It's not as, it won't get you as many results. And plus it could be a real mess to figure it out. But that's what we want to simplify. So here's what our software really accomplishes. So it's the need to have some sort of page builder or website builder, where you have to get hosting, website themes, plugins, and even sometimes even if you can't do it yourself, hire somebody to do all the design and maintenance. Lead capture systems. Here's some examples of what's out there. Some webinar systems. Just some examples of what's out there and what the costs are. Maybe you need some membership software. Here's a few of them out there they're not cheap. Mm-hmm. And referral systems, if you're trying to run any kind of sweepstakes to generate more viral leads. Just an example of what they could cost.
So how many of you guys are using one or more of these, like the lead pages or ClickFunnels, or doing the webinars, and the web membership sites? Like I know Russell's using Kajabi. And so how many of you guys are using these things? And I want you to think about this. How much is all of that costing you? What you actually have, how much is it costing you? You don't have to write it down, but I want you to just have that in your mind. So as Rene goes through this, you can see how 22 Social takes care of all of that at a fraction of the cost. So I just wanted to share that, put that out there.
I thank you. Yeah, and actually, if you were to pick the most affordable options out of this list to run everything, you're looking about the most frugal way of doing it, about $1,800 a year.
Wow.
To do all that. Not to mention figuring out how everything's going to work together, how to connect all the gears, and make sure things make sense. So that's the reality of it. So it's not cheap. So one of the things we said, we wanted to keep things, the cost low. This is not doing it. We wanted to keep things simple. This is definitely not doing it. There are ways of creating more cash flow and also creating passive income, but it definitely fails the last two, which is keeping it simple and keeping it a low cost. So
Right. Yeah, and Ange says she's using those and it's costing her a fortune. Marianne's not online at all other than her personal Facebook page. So that's interesting. This can maybe show her a way that how she can use this to ramp up her business.
Exactly. So 20 Social makes it simple and convenient for you to create courses and trainings inside Facebook and even charge for access to them. So that's one of the majority of our clients uses for that. There's other things that I'm going to go through as well. So even if you have a local business, you can still use our software. We do help a lot with lead generation and sweepstakes, but a lot of people really, really love the ability to create courses and trainings, especially membership type courses where you're charging a recurring fee. But we're going to go through this in the next few slides.
Yeah.
So let me see. So here's how it all works. So you start with a fan page, and happens to be free. I like that.
Yep.
Pretty easy to use. You know how to use Facebook. You can use your fan page, right? Most of you probably already have one. Mm-hmm. And it comes with a lot of features right out of the box. And pretty easy to set up and manage. It really is. I mean, there's a lot of good to say about different networks. out there, social networks like your Instagram, your Snapchats, your Pinterest, depending on what business you are, they're great for attraction. But I think very few of them can actually say they're online hub. Very few of them can actually have something like a business page. And I think Facebook is the only one in my mind that can really be that hub where people can really get everything they need from your business. That can really replace your website.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that too, because I have an Instagram, but I don't know why. It's like, I don't know what the purpose of it is, but I have one because they say you should have one. So.
You're right. Sometimes, in fact, if you're thinking I gotta figure out every single network, you're better off figuring out one and getting results. Yeah. Spreading yourself thin. Plus, I mean, sometimes it makes sense if you're in that market. If you want maybe that younger demographic, it might make sense to go to Instagram. Or if you want, it tends to be more female on Pinterest, and if that's kind of the crowd that you want, maybe that makes sense to attract. But it's really not a hub. It's a place to attract. You can drive them all back to your fan page. So
right.
Here's what we figured out in 2010 when I thought, okay, this thing lets me extend it and program it. Is the ability to add more custom apps to your fan page. It already comes with a few, like your home, which is where your posts are at, about photos, videos, notes. A few of the things are adding, even sometimes job postings that it has. But we allow you to create your own custom ones in there to really complete the circle and really make sure that really this could become your website.
Let me ask you a question about that, Rene, because my curiosity says, how the heck did you guys get approved from Facebook to do that? Like, what was the process? Because that's kind of interesting. Can anybody just do it, or do you have to apply to them, or what?
You do, especially for the lead collection side of it that I'm going to go over. You do have to submit screenshots of your entire flow. We had to give them a dummy account. They went through the process, verified that we weren't deceptive in any way, or that we weren't offering something that didn't make sense. So it was probably about a couple month process to get that.
Okay.
Yeah, so and at the beginning, they didn't require to be approved. So we operated a few years without needing to. They didn't even have an approval process. So they just let you use their programming interface without having to be approved. Oh. But they changed that, I believe, back in 2014. Don't quote me on that. Mm-hmm. And we had to go through an approval process, or we would have been shut down. And everybody had to go through that. And a lot of apps went away because of that. But yeah.
Okay. So wow. Awesome.
Yeah. So they make sure that you're legit. You can add those apps, and here's how easy it is. Really, when you get an account with us, we'll give you this famous little green button that says install another app. You click on it, and that's really where it all begins, and you're able to add these additional apps on your fan page on top of the normal ones that it comes with. Mm-hmm. And let me give you an example of how that works. Here's an example of that. And so, as you see, your 20 social app, you can actually change the text on there, and you can customize that app. You can actually, in a few seconds, get it going and add any text, videos, Vimeo, YouTube videos, video galleries, plugins, all sorts of stuff, pictures, photo galleries, albums that you want on there. Cool little widgets like this. It shows the faces of the visitors that are watching the page. And just to make it look and do what you need to do so you can have the message that needs to get out there when somebody lands on this page. And they all have a unique URL that you get that actually solves a problem Facebook had and still has, that these tabs normally, or these apps normally don't work on mobile, but we fixed that. We actually, when you build it on your desktop, it automatically actually works on mobile.
Oh, nice.
You don't have to go out and figure out and relay it out for mobile. It does it automatically.
Do you have any idea, like, what percentage of people look at the app on mobile as opposed to on their desktop? Do you guys have those kinds of numbers?
I don't have stats off the top of my head. I'm imagining probably 60 or 70% of the traffic is mobile.
Okay.
But I don't have the stat. Don't quote me on that. I don't have the exact number memorized.
Okay.
But yeah, so it is very important to make sure that your stuff works on mobile, especially if you're a local business where someone may be looking you up while they're on the go because they're trying to find you. But anyone, actually, it doesn't matter. You need to make sure your stuff works on mobile.
And that's a good point right there, because not all websites are mobile friendly.
Right.
So with this, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, like I went through this real quick. I'm going to go through a few examples of how this works. So normally the apps have two parts to it. You could have just one part where, like I showed you, just put together what you need to display, your videos and your graphics or or text to get your message out there. Or you could put what we call a gate, meaning a page people got to see before they opt in. Then they click through. And this is kind of like your sales page, your opt-in page. So this is something where you're promising something. Hey, maybe it's a webinar that you're running. Say, click below to opt in and register for the webinar. Maybe it's a free giveaway. Maybe it's a free course to collect leads. Or maybe it's you're charging. And I'll get to that in a sec. But when they see that first, when they opt in, they'll see a link that you could actually that link automatically generates a preview on if you share it anywhere on Facebook. They see that, they click through, they see that registration page. When they click on the button, they're going to be taken to a Facebook kind of allow page that says, yes, I'm okay with moving forward. And that's just by Facebook rules. But that's, to me, that's thanks to the gaming industry who's made it really, really common for people to allow that people are really comfortable clicking through. Once they do that, then boom, they can actually see the content. And what's great is you're actually starting to generate leads. So our system will collect those leads, and you get a lot more than a name and an email. You actually get, you also get a Facebook ID, which is a profile. So you can actually click through and start chatting with somebody who just went through your lead capture page.
Wow.
Just look at their location, your date of birth. So depending on what industry you're in, that may actually be very important. So it feels a lot more like a real person versus just some random name in an email, right? Which may not be real, actually. They might have made it up. So that's the process again, real quick. They click through on the link. They see that your opt-in page where you tell them what they're opting into. And then they allow, and boom, they see the content now. And in the background, they don't see this, but in the background, you're building that list. Let's see. So you don't need any of that. I mean, every time it's funny. I've even seen Facebook do this, which I can't believe how sometimes they have their own forms, their own business department, like Facebook Business, and they have you type in a name and email. I don't get it. They already have it, but we don't. We actually pull it right out of somebody's profile so they don't have to type it in. And so it's more of a real email. I'm going to go through some of these real quick. We don't have too much time, but yeah, so like I said, it's better data. You do get the Facebook profile. And we also have referral tracking that allows us to do the sweepstakes. So
that's cool.
Let me speed through this real quick. This is how it works on mobile. So somebody sees that link on their timeline. They click through. Then they see your opt-in page. They say, yes, I want this. They click. Then they'll see the allow. And they do get a chance to confirm an email in case they do want to give you a different email. That's by Facebook. We've got to do that. And then, boom, they see the content. So, like I said, you can also charge money for access.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, where's that little ding? I'm used to on Hangouts. We have a little sound effect that the little register goes ding, ding, ding when there's a payment, but that's fine.
I don't have one of those. Hey, Sylvia had a question. What happens with the leads? Is there a way to collect them independently from Facebook? Like, I guess, can you download them from?
Yes, you could definitely download the entire list. You download the entire list. You can also connect it to an autoresponder like a MailChimp or an Aweber and actually get an email sequence going. So that could be collected there. And they're backed up in our database, so and our servers. So you can always download it and import it anywhere you want. So you do have control of that. That's your list. We don't use it. You own it.
Awesome.
So one addition to the whole process that I showed you earlier is that if you do decide to charge for access, then we allow you to integrate into your PayPal account. And they'll be taking a PayPal before seeing the final content. So that's where they'll pay. If they pay, they'll be redirected to see the content. If they don't, you actually still see them on your list. They're just grayed out. So you can actually contact people who abandoned the cart and chat with them. So that's what's cool.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's 3 ways of setting up this access, right? They see the opt-in page, but how do they get through? They can either just become a lead. So if you're doing giveaways, lead capture, that works. It could also be a single payment. So if you're wanting to create a course where maybe you're charging them a couple $100 to see your virtual course, it's a single payment. One-time lifetime access or subscription, which could be monthly recurring or yearly recurring fee. So maybe they're paying you, I don't know, $10, $20, $30 a month to see your content on a regular basis. Maybe you're giving them recurring content. So that's where that would make sense. Or you have a Facebook group attached to it, and that's really you want to charge for that community. Then that's where that would come in handy.
Okay.
And we work. I haven't seen any other platform out there that actually makes it so easy to work with a Facebook group. So if you want to charge for it.
Okay. Awesome.
So here's an example of really leveraging the platform. Will's he's done a lot of training for us internally as well. Just one example of someone that's really used the platform, and he could do more, but he's done more than most people.
Uh-huh.
And just to give an example of what he's created, he's got paid one-on-one coaching. That's one of the apps in there. He's got a free download to collect leads, a video course, free live hangout or webinar. Also another paid course. He's got a newsletter subscription. People sign up on a monthly basis and get an email from him once a month with updates. He reviewing affiliate product, and down here he's got another paid course. He's got another free PDF download to collect leads, a welcome page. I mean, he's really capitalizing on what this can do, and that's good. You don't have to start like that. You can start with maybe just that free PDF download to collect leads, or a webinar, or maybe just a course. But he's really used it.
So does each of those then have its own separate URL so you can invite people? Okay, so just like the lead page, you can send them to just the download. Okay. Exactly,
and they go right to there. They don't go to the home for the home tab. They go right to that tab, or the mobile page if the person's on mobile.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah, he's made over $70,000, and that was 2016. He's done more now, just through his fan page alone. He's got other streams of income, but that just through our app, that's what he was able to do. So he's done well with that. And that's just one person. We've had people do even more than that. So definitely possible. And what's great is the toughest thing is to have an idea. What am I going to offer, or what am I going to use to give away for free to collect leads? Once you have that figured out, it's pretty simple to get everything put together. You can do it in the same day. So
wow, that's awesome.
So more examples, cool examples, just so you get an idea of who's using the platform. Lisa Reed is an online coach. Here's an example of her using it to do free training to collect leads. Phil's a business consultant. Again, he loves the whiteboard. I love the whiteboard as well. So he put together some training as well to collect leads. Let's see. Jacob is a musician. He's actually charging a subscription for a VIP members club or fan club. So that's one way he's paying for to keep his music going, is by having the fans actually be members of this paid membership, of this subscription, and pay him on a monthly basis. So that's actually a little bit of a different example.
Yeah.
This one's a fitness trainer. He's got a group that he charges $5 a month, $4.99 to be part of it, and he does training through the Facebook group. So, and people just sign up. So using the membership, the subscription feature.
That's interesting. That's such a low, like a low buy-in for people, $4.99 a month, which is the no-brainer offer, right?
Exactly. And then Jesse's actually running a Facebook group, but he's not charging. It's free. And he's collecting leads before they get to the group. So he's got more than just people on a group. He's actually got a mailing list. So he's not for that. Scott, he's teaching people in direct sales. So he's coaching them. So he's using the platform for that. Debbie has a podcast. So she's using the app to get people to register in and get resources that are mentioned on podcasts. So the Mighty Married Moms podcast. I love the name.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And Scott, he's a mindset coach. He's done thousands of dollars selling courses using our platform. He's out of the UK. He's done well with that. We got Dr. Daniel. He's hosting Cellular Healing TV. So that's how he's getting leads for his business, for his practice, is by having this TV where people, or show that people register through to watch. Let's see. We got a parent. Stephanie here is a parenting expert. TJ Barker, in a few months, he generated thousands of dollars selling a course helping loan officers generate more leads online. So what's great is, he brand new to the platform, in a couple of days started generating cash. And so he's done really, really well. So there's so many niches you can go after. Lauren here is also a fitness instructor. let's say Andre, he's a social media marketing expert. He's generated a lot of leads as well using our platform. And yeah, it's tons and tons of examples, and I can go through so many more. What I like to do is, I don't know if I can see the questions that are coming up. Now that I'm in a different mode,
Yeah, I do have one. So I wanted to address something.
Sure.
Marianne mentioned that it's scary to get started, analysis paralysis, because there's so much out there, right? And so one thing I wanted to address to Marianne, because she's the one that's tax accountant, and you mentioned the gentleman who is the loan officer, and he put together his program, how to use social media to boost your sales. And for example, if Marianne were to put something together, she could actually now teach tax accountants how to boost sales with this program. She just learned how to use, you can.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's the best way to learn, is to have to teach somebody else. So if you're worried about, I don't know if I'm going to learn, well, if you put together something where you commit to teaching people how to use it, people in your same industry, then you're forced to become the expert and figure it out, because they're depending on you.
Yeah.
But she could use it to teach other tax professionals. She could also use it to generate leads for her tax business. I mean, creating a simple giveaway where people, maybe the top 3 things people miss on their tax returns and what to do about it. Maybe something like that for free. People opt in, get this free download, and she starts building that relationship with them. And then from there, contacting them and say, hey, you know what? I hope you liked the tips that I gave you for free. I'd like to help you with your taxes, kind of thing, and then go from there. So, and that's a good business. That could be a lifelong relationship there with your tax professional. So she could really capitalize on that. So it's just an idea. Or she could actually, I don't know what the tax laws are or what she's able to do, but maybe even putting together some courses that help people be prepared for their taxes, something. I mean, there's so many things she could do. So she could even sell a course. So
there's possibilities are endless, right? The possibilities stop with us. And
start with something simple. Just start with something simple. You already have your tax business. You already it's past tax season, so right now you have a little time to figure it out. So maybe there's people with extensions. There's people who like to get those revised. So here's a chance for you to spend some time giving something out there for free and collecting leads, and then contacting people and helping them out.
Yeah. Educating people, it really helps, because it's a value that they can get, from anywhere, right? But the thing is that they're going to learn to meet, to know you, like you, and trust you. And so, yes, even though there's, thousands and thousands of tax accountants out there, there's only one Marianne Lindsay, And
it's your job to gain their trust. And let's see, one thing real quick I wanted to do. Let me share my screen again. I want to make sure that I think.
How simple is it to go from, I have, a Facebook page. I also have a group. So is there a difference? Is it only for pages, or is it for groups too? Or would I move my group people over to the page? How would that all work?
So give you an idea for you. So you already have a group you've been running. You can keep having that be what we call a lead or free group. And the app would install on the fan page. But what you could do is, instead of inviting people to the group directly, you can invite them to an app on your fan page that says, hey, here's what the group's about. Click through to join, so that you're starting to collect leads. You could also run a sweepstakes, something that I haven't really gone through. But since we have the registration process and we have the ability to where people can refer people, you can tell people on the group, hey, I want you to go register through this page, opt-in page, because I'm going to be giving something away. And everybody who registers through, not just joins the group, but actually registers through there first, is going to get a chance to win something, maybe once a month or so. And also, if you invite some friends, you're going to get more chances to win. So that could be one way to grow your group. I've seen people create thousands of leads just by using a sweepstakes. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And the thing is that maybe not everybody knows this, but there are more than 1.7 billion people using Facebook, and more than 1 billion people log on every single day to Facebook. So your advertising is free. It's free. It's a great way to build that audience.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, we make it really easy to work with it. Whether it's a free group or a paid group that you're using for a paid membership, I haven't seen anything out there that makes it so simple to connect with the group, especially when your people request to join and you don't know who's requesting, if they paid or not. Since we use Facebook login, the same name that's requesting to join is the same name that's showing up in the back office that says that paid. So it's really easy to track back and say, oh, yeah, that's right, they paid, allow. Or they haven't. Let me send them a message and say, oh, this is a paid part of a paid program. Here's a link if you want to learn more about it. So especially when cancellation, someone's going to cancel, you got to be able to track back and be able to remove it to make it fair for everybody in the group.
Right,
but
right. So we did have two questions.
Sure.
Russell asked, what apps and sites will I need in addition to 22 Social to have a complete system?
What apps, can you read it again? What apps?
What apps and sites will I need in addition to 22 Social to have a complete system?
It depends on what business he has. If he has an online business, really a lot of people are just using their fan page, the YouTube channel to host webinars with YouTube Live, 22 Social, and maybe an autoresponder, which is your MailChimp and your Awebbers, and that's it. So
Awesome.
A lot of people are running that way. Of course, if you have a different business that requires something special or different, I'm not sure what that may be, you may need more. But a lot of people are running their entire business just on that. In fact, to give an example, Mia Davies is a business coach. She used to run things a complicated way, and then her tech person kind of just went missing in action, disappeared, and she freaked out.
Yikes.
She's a good friend of mine. She called me, Rene, I gotta replace everything. So I helped her get going quickly because she had some deadlines to cover. But now she's running most of her stuff using our platform. And what she loves is she's able to manage and make changes herself. So
not have to rely
on a tech person just kind of disappearing on her and having her freak out. So that's one of the things she loves. And there's a ton of more examples. Monica Ramos is a social media trainer, also mindset coach, runs her entire business on Facebook using our platform.
I think one of the things as entrepreneurs too is that we tend to not want to release control, and that's one of the reasons, right? Because we hear stories like that and we're like, gosh, I don't want to have anybody help me. But so if this is simple to use, that we can use it on our own and make it simple, then that makes it much easier for us to either trust somebody to go ahead and help us, because we know that if they leave, that it's easy for us to go ahead and continue on with.
Right. So a couple more examples. Franco does training. Livy actually runs a restaurant. She runs a sweepstakes where she gives away a free cake every week. And that's been her marketing strategy. That's how she's been able to grow her business, by giving away a free cake and having people visit her restaurant and pick up the cake once a week. That's it. That's her stories. That's what she posts, pictures of the winners. So it's pretty simple. Marty Smith uses quite a bit of time. She's run webinars through our platform, also giveaways, sweepstakes, you name it. But like I told you before, really what you were looking for is a way to increase cash flow, and collecting leads to start. Actually, creating courses is a way to actually create passive income. Also with membership sites, it's the same amount of work you would do with 10 members versus 100 versus 1,000 members, right? And also keeping things simple. Like I said, with our platform, they're all inside Facebook, and you don't have to worry about how to connect 10 or 15 different systems. And keeping expenses low. Speaking of low, I'm going to give you guys a link here that's going to keep it really low for the first 30 days. I'm going to give you the ability to not go through any of that, and using our system, getting a 30-day trial. That's what I'm going to give you. So if you use that link, 22s.com/trial. That'll take you right to a page where you can sign up. You do need a credit card, so if you're not happy with it, just cancel before 30 days and we won't ever charge you. But I think you're going to be happy with it. So it's free for the first 30 days. Then it's $29 a month thereafter. So that's what the quickest, easiest way to get started right now is to try for 30 days. And that's more than enough time for you to actually get something going and start to get results if you're really serious about it, right? We do have a support community. We have extensive knowledge base system where you can get all your questions answered. you like working at 3 a.m. when we won't be around, then there's a system that can help you get most answers. But we also have a ticketing system as well. So you could really have, if you have something to offer and you're a little tech savvy, and if you can use Facebook, then you're tech savvy. So then you could really make it happen. There's no question about it. It's just a matter of you actually making the decision to create a difference in your business and take it to the next level.
Yeah, so we did that. That's great. You answered partially. I think Chris had a question. What training and support comes with it? So as far as them signing up, the Facebook group also is very good. There's how many people in your Facebook group?
Right now we have 2,100, I believe, around there in the Facebook group. I mean, it's very, very active.
Yeah.
You post something on there, someone's going to get to you. They always beat us to it because we're always monitoring, but the community is always beating us to answering people. There's also a ticket support system. There's also live training once a week, every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific. We do live training with different strategies. So you're definitely not alone at all.
Yeah,
so
and I attended one of those, and they're very, they are live, because I was like, I wonder if this is really live. And they said my name. I was like, okay, it's really live. That's cool. Because you never know.
Right.
You never know, right? Some of those webinars are not.
No, we don't like those. We'll tell you if it's pre-recorded. We'll actually start with the date. Today is April.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That's why we do it, so people know that. And also, if they come back to the page, the replay is there, and we want people to know you're watching the replay.
Right.
We've had people ask questions and go, and they don't realize it's a replay. So we want to make sure people know, hey, it's either you're watching live, you'll know it, or you came the next day or 2 days later and it's a replay. So there's plenty of resources. We launched a company in 2012, so we're going on 5 years now. Before we had the company, we did a lot of custom work using Facebook pages since 2010. So I could honestly say, I don't know if anyone really understands how to really leverage Facebook and what they have to offer software-wise to really draw leads out of the network, like we do. So we've been so long. Plus, I mean, I always like when there's a problem with Facebook, and I know Facebook's fixing it, and you get the same feeling with us. If there is a problem with Facebook tweaking something, we have to update our system. We are on it so fast that it's the same feeling. You know that you're not running your own website and having it crashed or hacked, and you're like stuck and confused and lost and frustrated and who knows what else. But we're on it. So we do everything in-house, so we don't have to wait to call some development team who knows where. We're doing it right off. I mean, sometimes if I'm up in the middle of the night, I'll be fixing stuff if something comes. I don't want to wait. The quicker we can repair, and like anything else, things happen. So Facebook's changing, but we are adapting to it. You don't have to worry about it. We make sure things keep running smoothly. So
cool.
I'm running out of time. Unfortunately, I do have another one coming up, but if you have questions, let's get to them real quick. Do you have any other?
Yeah, let me just throw them out there and see if you'll be able to answer. So one of them was, how quickly can I learn this? I'm just going to throw the questions out there. Can you let me know which ones you can answer? How quickly can I learn it? Who do I have to send approval requests to at Facebook? That one I don't understand, though. Maybe you do. And then also, can we do an online course with this platform, or do we need something else?
No, yes, you could definitely do an online course with the platform. Okay. And the approval stuff, I guess if you want to build your own system, that's a whole different animal. I don't have time to get into, but yeah, definitely. You could get it set up in a day. It's pretty fast. It's actually will take you longer to come up with what to put on that course than it will.
Content, yeah.
Exactly. So, okay. I see the chat now. I figured out how to do that. Now I can't figure out how to turn off my screen share. I lost it somewhere. Where are you? There we go. I think I zoom. There we go.
Let's see.
Let me see. I think it's hidden back here somewhere. There we go. Stop share. It was hidden by the slide deck. But I really, really appreciate you having me here. Let's see. I want to offer.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Russell's was, I host a show, want to offer online courses and online masterminds. I'm a consultant, so some of my coaching matters.
You can do all that right on the platform. All of that right through your fan pages and 20 social. So yes, we fit like a glove for you on that.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, so
Thank you, Linda.
try the free 30-day trial, you guys.
Yeah,
check
get
it out.
started with the trial,
Yeah.
and if it doesn't make sense, I won't be offended, but I think it will. So,
Fantastic.
yeah, thank you, Linda, for having me on here. Nice
Thank
to meet
you.
everybody on the chat. I think, Sylvia, I've met you before in person, actually, but Marianne and Russell, we got Ange.
And Chris.
Yeah, we got quite a few people in there. So
yeah,
and some of them might have not asked the question, but I'll see you, and we'll stay in touch. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
And I'll have the recording out to you guys soon, okay?